Hello, this is psychologist Yulia Latunenko with you, and here's what we're going to talk about today. Why are people ungrateful? I think this topic will be interesting to many people because a lot of us have encountered ingratitude from others. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe, give this video a like and leave a comment. What is your story about people's ingratitude? Have you ever had such situations in your life? In this video, we'll be talking about adults, not about children, and not about parent-child relationships. Because, as I've already mentioned in many of my videos, you shouldn't expect gratitude from your own children, since children don't owe us anything. You brought them into this world by your own decision, and they don't have to thank you for what you, as parents, were supposed and obligated to do for them. And as I've already mentioned, life is not given as a debt, it is given as a gift. So we're going to talk about the relationships between two or more adults and about the ingratitude of adults. For example, you helped someone, an adult who needed support in a difficult situation. And then, by the way, after some time, this person acts treacherously towards you. You might say, how could this happen? Why? I helped you so much. How could you do this to me? The thing is, most people are not able to appreciate your help. Moreover, they devalue your help, coming up with certain justifications for their treacherous actions, so that they don't feel guilty afterwards. They don't have a critical attitude toward their own behavior or themselves. They act this way and believe it's the right thing to do. They have their own truth and their own sense of what is right. This type of person is only focused on taking, and taking. They are incapable of giving anything to others and only make use of other people's resources. And they do this sincerely and naively because in reality, this type of person is like a child in an adult's body. This type of person is also ungrateful because they envy those who help them. They envy those who are stronger than them, who have achieved more than they have. That's why they display passive-aggressive behavior without even realizing that the reason is their hidden envy. Usually, such people often take on the role of the victim. And I want to emphasize this word. They manipulate others into feeling sorry for them. You will end up going to help them. You will accommodate them, for example, by not charging them for your service or giving them a big discount because they seem so unfortunate, because they claim they don't have the money to pay you. And taking advantage of your kindness, they will demand some very exclusive terms from you because they are supposedly unique in their suffering. Such people will try to manipulate your compassion so that you break your own rules and make exceptions for them because they are such universal sufferers. How could you possibly refuse to help them? And then, after taking advantage of your kindness and your loyalty, your generosity in the end, these people go somewhere and leave a negative review about your service. That's how they act. Well, this is an example I can give of how this kind of ingratitude for kindness happens. Because such a person is simply incapable of being grateful. They devalue your kindness, your sincerity, your willingness to help. Yes, they beg you for this help, making you feel pity for them. But then they don't accept it. They are still unhappy and still dissatisfied. And people like this are very dangerous in the sense that unexpectedly they can stab you in the back. In fact, this type of person is very skilled at manipulating others through pity, and they do it so theatrically, so incredibly well, that everyone around them rushes to help them immediately, without even suspecting that behind the mask of a universal sufferer, who is actually hiding? What do you think? That's right, a narcissist. But this narcissistic person is not grandiose in their achievements, not in their creativity, not in their work, career, or success. They are grandiose in their misery and deceit. I have encountered such people many times in my life, and I don't even expect them to appreciate my help. At the end of the video, I will tell you how to properly deal with this category of people. I simply have one reliable method. Block these people, ban them, and deny them any access to me. If you have dealt with such people in your life and you hold grudges against those who have acted meanly and deceitfully towards you, if these grudges, the injustice, and even sometimes the desire for revenge torment you as they do for some people, know that all of this is unnecessary. You simply need to work through your traumas, process these grudges, and learn how to let them go. So, what conclusions should you draw after encountering such a teacher as an ungrateful person? The first thing I suggest is to stop, to quit rushing to help people who are constantly complaining about life. Think, pause before you say yes and rush to help, to save that person. Pause, take a breath, and think about whether you actually need this or not. And first of all, if someone is demanding psychological support from you, friends often do this, using each other as psychologists, and sometimes it turns into a situation where one friend is always listening while the other is constantly complaining and using you, for example, as their psychologist. But this kind of work is expensive. Why should you do it for free? Moreover, I think that after having all these negative problems dumped on you, you probably don't feel very good after such conversations. So you can quite honestly tell your friend that you are not a psychologist, you haven't studied to be one, and you don't know how to help a person in such a situation. You can simply recommend that they see a psychologist who can help, because you are getting overwhelmed and may not feel very well after being assigned this role for which you don't have the necessary skills, such as those required for this responsibility. Second, if you are still being strongly asked for help, again, don't rush assess how ready you are. to give your resources. Don't expect the person to be grateful to you. It's similar to when you lend someone money. Only as much as you are willing to lose. The amount of money you are willing to part with painlessly is the amount you can lend. In other words, the amount you are ready to give away as a gift. The same goes for your resources, including your psychological resources, when you are providing someone with emotional support. So determine how much you can support this person in a way that won't be difficult for you, so that afterwards you can say, I don't need their gratitude. I did it just because. Third, you need to accept that the world is not made up only of kind and good people. Don't be surprised by anything. Don't be surprised if people don't say thank you after they use your resources which you sincerely give to them. Because people don't have to be mentally healthy. They're not obligated to be mentally healthy, and they're not required to all be adults. They may be immature, they may act like children, they may have their own childhood traumas that block their development and prevent them from having a critical attitude toward their actions, toward themselves. Most people still have some psychological deviations, so don't expect healthy behavior from everyone. Well, if you are still such a hypersensitive person who shows empathy toward others and can be deeply hurt by such unhealthy, inadequate behavior from people, then you need to work on your own psychological traumas, on your hypersensitivity. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. Give this video a like if you found it useful. And also write in the comments whether you have ever encountered ungrateful people in your life. How did you get through it? Did this experience help you become stronger and more mature? Well, I'll be waiting for your comments. Share my videos on social media. This will also help my channel grow, and I will gladly continue making new episodes for you about developmental psychology and relationship psychology.